Bro, some clips don't just feel creepy. They make you question what's really going on beneath the surface. Today, we're getting into Shakira concert footage people call a dark ritual, ancient mysteries tied to lost civilizations, and self defense techniques that make this whole lineup even stranger. Come on, man. This is Brosky Ray. Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Man, what kind of dance is that?
Just watched was during the worst concert Shakira ever put her fans through. Everyone in the crowd felt like their energy was being drained, and the reason is terrifying. To really understand Shakira's hidden power, you have to remember what happened 5 years ago. Have you ever seen Beyoncé publicly thank someone? Because usually at the Grammys, it's always the opposite. Everyone thanks Beyoncé and bows before her. But with Shakira, something completely different happened. Beyoncé thanked her herself, and once you understand why, it changes everything. Shakira isn't just a singer. She has a power that
They're both witches, I think.
few people in this industry have. She became famous for belly dancing, and at first, it was just part of her first viral song, but the scale of what happened to her afterward changed everything. Look at her free concert in Brazil. She brought together millions of people, all gathered in the same place, and we know very well that in this industry, nothing is ever truly free. When you gather that many people together, there is always an exchange. It's something invisible, but very powerful, because tension is energy, and those who know how to capture that energy can do whatever they want with it. The larger and more synchronized the crowd is, the more powerful something it creates. That's exactly why Beyoncé respects her so much. Shakira has the same kind of power as Beyoncé, the ability to manipulate the energy of her fans during concert. And in this industry, that kind of power is the only thing that truly proves their level.
I don't know if you heard recently, there was this boy. He came out of a shipping container and he looked dehydrated. He looked super skinny, right? The reason why this boy was in the shipping container was because he played hide and seek with his friends.
Oh, fuck. And he got trapped.
So this is what happened. They were playing hide and seek, right? He decided to go open a shipping container in Bangladesh. He went in. His friends took so long that he was like, alright, bro, I'm gonna just take a nap until they find me. Boom. All you see, he wakes up. He's like moving. He's like, oh, I'm somewhere else now. And take in, he went from Bangladesh all the way to Malaysia.
Holy shit.
So listen, 6 days without food or water.
And light. He probably didn't have light in that shit.
And there's a video going around where he comes out and he's like, oh, you can see his bones and shit like that.
Can you even survive 6 days? So you can only survive like 5 days with food, fam.
Yeah. So even though he survived, he's getting care right now.
Yeah.
All the doctors are like, how the fuck did he survive this? Like he went 6 days, no food, water.
So his mentality is different.
And God is with him.
This is real footage
Plus, that container is dark too. Ooh.
of an uncontacted tribe in the Amazon. If you look close, you can see them holding up spears and arrows, ready to defend themselves if necessary. Now,
Please don't bother them.
they have no contact with the modern world, and something as simple as a common cold could wipe out their entire community, which means there are still humans on this planet completely untouched from everything we know today. And that's happening right here. This is a deep dive into the Amazon rainforest. What you're seeing right now is real footage of it. And it's not just a jungle. It is one of the largest, most powerful ecosystems on Earth. It stretches across 9 countries in South America, including Brazil, Peru, Colombia, and Venezuela. And in total, it covers over 5.5 million square kilometers. That's roughly the size of the entire United States. And running right through the center of it is the Amazon River, the largest river on Earth by volume. It releases more water to the oceans than the next 7 largest rivers combined. And at its widest point, it can stretch over 40
Scary place.
kilometers across. But what makes the Amazon even more incredible is that it doesn't just exist in the climate, it helps control it. You see, the forest releases massive amounts of water vapor into the air through billions of trees. And that vapor rises, condenses, and forms what scientists call flying rivers. Now, they're not actual rivers that you see flowing through the sky. They're more like these massive moving streams of moisture. Basically like clouds, but on a scale so large, they actually act like rivers in the atmosphere. These rivers carry water across the continent and eventually will fall as rain thousands of kilometers away. So in a way, the Amazon is consistently recycling its own water and then sending it across the world. Inside of this forest, there's an estimated 390 billion trees. That's more than 40 trees for every single person on Earth. And those trees are home to something even crazier. The Amazon is believed to contain 10% of all known species on Earth. In just 1 square kilometer, you can find more species of trees than in most of North America. And we are still discovering new life there every single year. In fact, as recently as the last few years, scientists have identified entirely new species hidden deep inside the rainforest, which means this place isn't just massive, it's still being discovered. It is so dense that in many areas, sunlight never even touches the ground. If you were dropped into the middle of it, you could travel for weeks in any direction that you want and still never see it.
And you're going to get eaten by some animals.
Other person. And despite all this, we've only explored a fraction of it, which means there are parts of the Amazon rainforest that humans have never fully seen. So when you really think about it, a place this big, this unexplored, it makes you wonder what's actually living in there. Be sure to come back tomorrow for the next episode of this deep dive into the Amazon rainforest. Tomorrow, we're going to look at everything that lives inside of this place. Be sure to like and follow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you guys.
Man, it's awesome, but please leave that place alone.
Get paid up to 200,000 per year to work in FIFO offshore. The fish do eat our feces, and if you throw anything off the side of this oil rig, it's gonna get eaten. And yes, even the sharks eat it too.
Look at them sharks.
So if you're not comfortable with that, it's gonna be hard working out here. We also get really bad storms. Look how dangerous this thing looks, and look at the waves crashing off of the rig right here. It can get really dangerous, and honestly, it is quite scary when you realize you're in the middle of the ocean on a small rig. And it feels like the ocean's trying to swallow you up, especially when you're trying to sleep during a storm and the winds are absolutely howling through the oil rig. This is probably one of the scariest things about working out here. But no matter how bad the storms get, the money you see going into your bank every month is what makes this worth it. We do make up to 200,000 per year working out here, and even in entry level roles, it's very easy to make over 100k a year. Both male and females can do this. There's non-experienced roles, and then there's experienced roles. Although the training to get on board can be quite hard, anyone can do it. Obviously, you have to be relatively fit. But look, if you're looking to get onto these offshore oil rigs and you actually are serious about doing this, check out the website in our bio. We have a complete step-by-step guide that can help break you into this industry and help you secure your role.
Man, I fall through the toilet, bro. Hey, but let me know in the comment if you would do this.
These are photos of you in 1996 and 2019. Are you aware that you have not aged?
No, I've aged.
Okay.
I have aged.
Are you a vampire?
No, I've aged. How can you be a vampire?
Just answer.
That was 2019. Now look at her today and listen to what she just told this podcast. Pay attention to the details.
On behalf of every woman in the world, can you please ask her how she still looks so good?
Red light. That and the blood of a 19-year-old.
Red light therapy, sure. Most people use that, especially people in Hollywood. The second part, about the vitality of a 19-year-old, that is specific. Look, people online claim that she's the queen of dry humour. She knows the internet thinks she's immortal. So is she feeding the trolls? But when a major star says the exact thing people have been posting about for years, is it a joke? She's 50 and she looks about 30s, I'd say. Is it good genes, the red light mask, or is there a reason she keeps bringing up all this vampire stuff? You tell me. Let me know thoughts and comments down below.
They say it as a joke on purpose.
Every virus that has been identified by science to be a virus, influenza, common cold, corona, polio, measles, mumps, rubella, HIV, rabies, I've looked them all up.
HIV?
You know that science has published that every one of them targets, everyone that I've researched, they know every single one of them, HIV included, targets nicotine receptors. Therefore, guess what the antidote is?
Nicotine.
Nicotine. Guess where nicotine is found the most? In tobacco. Guess what? 200 countries right now in unison. Within 4 weeks of my Watch the Water documentary coming out, guess what? 200 countries have been told to ban access to all citizens by the year 2030, and they're all doing it, including the United States of America.
What?
Tobacco and nicotine agents.
Man, nicotine is not bad for you. Cigarettes are.
Something big is happening in South Africa right now. Huge crowds stormed through streets and cities across the country, which some media outlets like Sky News described as a war on foreigners.
Feels like a witch hunt. They keep pointing out people that they think may be foreign and then attacking them. We just saw a man get tasered on the side of the street.
In fact, African migrant shop owners were warned by police to close down ahead of these anti-illegal immigration protests out of precaution for their safety. So what the hell is going on? Protesters say that foreigners from other African countries are taking away jobs, healthcare, housing, and businesses from the locals.
I'm unemployed. There's no employment. I can't find anything. Now we are focusing on the illegal foreign nationals.
But it's not only around jobs and the economy. Local media report that earlier this month, a 27-year-old shop owner went missing amid concerns that his alleged refusal to sell his business to foreign nationals may have led to his disappearance. This triggered outrage and it's caused the illegal immigration issue in the country to reach its boiling point. And now even the United Nations is calling for calm. Critics are calling this a xenophobic movement, while supporters say this isn't about discrimination, but about protecting their country. So, as always, what do you guys think?
Watch his face transform. Some people could say this is just a lighting, but there seems to be something more dark going on here. This isn't normal at all. This is absolutely demonic. And this rapper goes by the name of Sway Lee. This just goes to show you that these artists in the music industry, they participate in a lot of dark things behind the scenes. Also, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just showcasing this video clip and how weird it looked when the light hit him, but maybe it was just the lighting. Maybe that's all that it was. Again, you can come to your own conclusion about this, but something ain't right about this at all. Something seems off about all of this. And I know I'm not the only one out there that finds this to be disturbing, that finds this to be strange, that finds this to be very bizarre. Again, you can come to your own conclusion. I find this to be very, very strange. What do you all think about this?
Same like Shakira?
Coming up with a new prison that allows inmates to serve years of their sentence in just a matter of minutes. So the criminals is going to have a choice to spend tens of years behind bars, or they can make the choice to get the artificial memory implanted into their brain. So this process is called Cognify. And the intent of it is to treat the criminal like a patient. They're going to try to change the person's brain chemistry. After this process, when they re-enter society, they will be new and reformed, and they won't even be capable of committing any other crime. The chip can make the patient feel empathetic. Depending on the severity of the crime, the chip can also...
You lost your soul.
...make you feel the emotional and physical pain of the victim and the family members. You can feel what they felt. So the process only takes about 7 minutes. But to the patient, it seemed like it had been years. Last year, the U.S. government spent $8.7 billion taxpayers' dollars on the prison. They say with this new prison, they can save money for health care, education. Also, they feel that it will be so many reformed people that doesn't commit crimes. Y'all leave in the comments and tell me what y'all think about this. Do y'all think this is actually going to work? Or do y'all think that they're creating something that they don't even know that they're creating? Y'all leave in the comments and tell me what y'all think.
It's called the B system.
Shakira really morphed into a demon on stage. That wasn't just some musical performance. That was a whole ritual. And you could see it in the way that she moved and slithered across that stage. The evil eyes she gave, like something was completely lurking in the dark. Something was completely manifesting on that stage. Oftentimes, if not all, these celebrities allow these entities to take over their bodies as alter egos, which seems so infantile of a name. It's like layman's terms for really a demonic spirit to take over and use them in a way that gives them more stage presence. I learned since I was a child that a lot of celebrities go to voodoo priests and they get charms, and these entities will come into their bodies and use them to make their music sell, to make their stage performances excel and captivate people in a way that turns into a hell ritual because it's in honor of Satan. It's in honor of the enemy, the gods that they serve, for giving them the fame, power, and the fortune and the accolades that they have achieved. A lot of times you guys look at certain people like they're so innocent and you don't expect that of them, but really, like, none of them are really innocent. Like, you can't really put it past anybody. And it's not just in the music industry, but the acting industry, the dance industry, whatever, you name the industry, it's all there. Satan's the same Satan to everybody. And a lot of them are offered to give up their soul for the riches, to give up their body for fame, you know, to these demonic spirits. And so seeing this manifest in real time was honestly so unsettling. Every time I would rewatch it, it just did not change. Like, it just looked so sinister. And that goes to show you that demons are real. The spiritual realm is real. And these entities taking over their bodies are a real thing. This was just so creepy. Oh my gosh, y'all. Like, I've seen demons a lot, but this was wild. I used to love my Shakira back in the Waka Waka days, though. Like, that was my song, okay? But I haven't really liked her since. She's been on some stuff, and she probably was on some stuff then that I really just wasn't aware of. But yeah, you can't trust these celebrities for real.
That's probably the darkest place I've ever been.
Are you serious?
It was worse than the Satanic Temple.
Why?
Well, they advertise it as an art festival. That's what they advertise it as. Like, it's an art free thinking festival. So Burning Man becomes the second largest city in Nevada for a week. 70 to 80,000 people go there for an entire week. And it's not a free thinking art festival. It's a big LSD orgy. That's what it is. I remember when we walked in there, and it is like, from an aerial view, it looks like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Maze Runner, but it just looks like a ginormous maze, like, from in there. And like, you walk in there and they've got like a purple school bus with blacked out windows, and it's the orgy bus, and they have times for group sex on there. And then next to it, you have an electrolyte station. And then next to it, you've got, you know, a cannabis shop. And then the next to it, you got people's tents. And then next to it, you got like a dance party, and people are walking around no clothes, old people, new people, sleeping with everybody, doing drugs with everybody. And I'll never forget, we entered into the thing, and I looked up and I noticed that there were naked people immediately. And I immediately pulled my head down, and I was like, God, protect my eyes. Like, I've got a beautiful girlfriend, my now wife, like, protect my eyes. I'm here to do mission work. I only saw naked men the rest of the day. So God was like protecting my eyes and protecting my heart. But it was dark, man. Like, it's just people lost and in search and in need of Jesus, but they won't turn to him. But we had some of the most fruitful conversations there.
Really?
I mean, are you expecting to talk to a Christian at Burning Man Festival?
I would assume not.
Absolutely. You know, you're not planning on it. And then they have that big statue, you know, that they burn at the end of the week, the man, and like, whether you like it or not, like, sometimes people worship that thing, sometimes people don't. They have a big temple that they burn. A lot of the stuff that they build there is burnable. So by the end of the week, they burn it. It was very fascinating. I couldn't believe it was real. A lot of high profile people there that wouldn't want you to know that they were there. And it's just like people live a double life. That was like the realest double life I've ever seen.
Will you go back?
I don't know. Like, high profile CEOs doing just wild stuff. A-list celebrities that are covered in, it's the middle of the desert, Black Rock Desert, wearing turbans, hiding the wind and goggles. And I don't know if I'll go back, only if God calls me there. That's why we went. It's because we felt like God called us there. We didn't go last year because we felt like God wasn't asking us to go back. And it was really dark. Like, I don't know how to explain it. The weight on your chest and going in there and feeling uneasy and what's going on. But we were able to talk to people and have fruitful conversations.
At first, I'm confused on why he went. Now I know.
Y'all need to look at this. So this right here is the original way that we learn how to do multiplication, subtraction, stuff like that. This parent shows how the kids now are being taught this. Let's look at this.
So the problem is 57 plus 25. The way we were taught was 7 plus 5 is 12. So the 2 goes here.
Bring up
and
the
1 goes up there. 5
Add
plus
it all together.
2 is 7. Plus 1 is 8.
Smooth.
Boom.
Simple.
Done. The way they're teaching her
Look at this.
is You got your 57 plus 25. There's 7 ones plus 5 tens. So it's a 50. 25. 5 ones plus 2 tens. So 7 plus 5 is 12. But we got to break the 12 apart into 2 ones and 1 10. 50 plus 20 is 70.
I'm
So
lost.
7
I'm still lost.
plus the 10 is 80. Plus the 2 is 82. That's the way they're teaching her how to do something simple. They turned this into this.
Yeah, man.
This is my second time watching that video, and I'm still confused on one, why and how do you do this? It makes no sense that you made this that complicated. Not the guy recording, but the way that they're teaching it. Like, why did you make something so simple so complicated? Like, I still don't know how to do it, and I don't care to figure it out. This is our kids is going through this right now. I just want to let y'all know that. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like and follow for more.
Yeah, man, I'll stick with the old way.
Petrified fish. That's right. It's exactly what I said. And yes, fish can petrify. It's called permineralization. It's where the sediment replaces the tissue, the minerals. If you look behind me, we believe we've actually found one. You can see the eye hole. It goes all the way through. There's even a mouth down there, and there's pectoral fins, what we believe, and on top is the dorsal fin. And for all of you wondering how this fish got out here at 5,300 feet, well, there was a flood at one point in time when God flooded the earth to wipe it clean of the Nephilim and all the evil. That's when he told Noah to build the boat. And when the water receded, this is what was left, along with many of the other petrified giants that we believe we have found out here. Come see us. We're out here in Colorado. Please like, share, follow, repost, all that good stuff. And come on out and see us. PetrifiedGiants.com is where you can get some more information or book a tour. Thank you.
Right.
This Iranian hacker claims to know the truth behind Charlie Kirk's murder.
This is what we've pieced together from the emails and other intelligence sources. Charlie Kirk was never shot with a bullet. He was accidentally decapitated by a piece of shrapnel from a miniature explosive planted inside his micro. The device was supposed to blow out his chest cavity, but the explosive malfunctioned. Instead of detonating downward, it ripped upward and took his neck. That is why security immediately ripped every device off the stage. That is why the security camera behind Charlie was yanked from the wall on live feed. That is why they literally stole his body from the scene before the coroner could arrive. That is why Netanyahu went on television within minutes to say it wasn't Israel before anyone had even asked. That is why the FBI took forever to find the killer. They had to rush manufacture evidence to match the lie.
Guys, I had something to say about this. Y'all see how close at sea level New Orleans is. Like, that was a cruise ship. That's, first of all, climate change, right? This is what people have been warning about for how long now? But anyway, I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about something supernatural when I saw that. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Do you guys know how New Orleans is like, it's surrounded by so much mystery and supernatural lore? Like, you have the voodoo and hoodoo that people say are going on in there, all of these strange occurrences. And it got me thinking, like, why is it that so many crazy things happen in places that are surrounded by ocean? You guys already know how I feel like there are demonic marine spirits, right? I know it sounds crazy, but I'm connecting the dots. I'm like, you know how people say a lot of times demons reside in the water? If the reason why there's so much supernatural stuff, for example, right? Let me tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Because I can do a series on this, but I don't want to spend too long on it. We have the Sultan Palace massacre, where a Middle Eastern man rented out a mansion with a whole bunch of people. Like, he rented it out and had a whole bunch of lavish parties. Next day,
People go and check on that mansion and everyone is found brutally unalived. To this day, no one knows what actually happened, from my understanding. The Casket Girls, you have the Lalaurie Mansion, and you guys, if you don't know about Delphine Lalaurie, she was a slave owner and she used to do horrible, despicable, diabolical things to enslaved individuals under her care, under her tyranny. Things that I'd have to, like I said, it would have to be a whole other video, but so many things. And surrounding all of these instances, people are reporting seeing shadowy figures and just feeling a dark presence around what has been happening. And I'm like, what if it's like a principality over it? Like, you guys know that there's principalities over many things, many areas. What if that's the reason why New Orleans is so spiritually heavy? Am I tripping? Like, you guys know I always like to just think outside the box, but is that not weird? As always, make sure you like and follow. Comment down below if you guys want a series diving into all of these spiritually terrifying things that have happened in New Orleans history.
Watch this. The originals make sense now.
Thank my Muslims. I want to thank my manager, James. I want to thank my producer, Ryan, for making the best music they can. Shout out all the other nominees in this category. I want to thank my label, 10K Capital, for always supporting me. And of course, God. Without God, none of this would be possible. Shout out the Bronx.
Taylor Swift almost ruined her career because she should have never reacted like that in front of the cameras. During the event where Taylor was filmed, you can hear Ice Spice speaking and starting her speech after her performance. Then she thanks the audience and thanks God for what she has today. But that's when Taylor's face changes and shows us something strange, an expression that looked like she was in complete disagreement with what had just been said. And that's when it becomes disturbing. Taylor Swift has called herself Christian for a very long time. She has always shown it publicly. So why would simply hearing the word God trigger that kind of reaction? You can clearly see it wasn't an uncomfortable look. It was a look of rejection. You know very well that in this industry, the level of power she has doesn't come for free. There is always a price, and this video shows it clearly. First, facial reactions can't really be controlled. Taylor Swift showed her real face that day, and everyone forgot about it.
People who mocked
Jesus Christ is king. God is good.
God and paid the price. Stephen Hawking. He once said, "God is a fairy tale," but just a few years later, Hawking lost full control of his body, trapped in a wheelchair speaking through a machine. Many believers say his own words came back to haunt him. John Lennon. In 1966, Lennon boldly declared, "We're more popular than Jesus." Months later, his career collapsed, the band fell apart, and he was shot outside his own home. Millions still believe that statement cursed him. Marilyn Monroe. After a Christian pastor visited her backstage and said, "The Spirit of God sent me to you," Marilyn laughed and said, "I don't need your Jesus." 1 week later, she was found dead in her home at 36, the Titanic. On the night it set sail, someone boasted, "Even God can't sink this ship." 4 days later, the unsinkable vessel hit an iceberg and vanished beneath the ocean, taking over 1,500 lives.
Wait.
Never ever mock God.
This just got even weirder.
Ever.
People started pointing out things in old clips, and I had to go back and check. First, look at this. His arm looks way longer than it should. Then this. Remember this scene? Now watch closely. Something about his face and body looks off. And this frame right here. What's going on with his face? Even his fingers look extended in this clip. Is it just angles and motion blur? Or something else? Go back and pause it. You'll see it.
Guys, we have some brand new updates on the Ebola situation, and it is not going to be what you expect. So since we last talked about this, the cases have literally tripled to over 1,000 in Congo and is still climbing every single day.
Overseas now to the deadly and rapidly spreading Ebola outbreak in Africa. The number of reported cases now above 900 in the Congo.
The World Health Organization has now declared a full global health emergency, and the director did it before they even held the meeting. That's how fast this is moving right now. The U.S. has also also now banned green card holders from Congo, Uganda, and South Sudan from coming back into the country, which they didn't even do for COVID. People have been storming the hospitals and burning down treatment centers because they genuinely do not believe that Ebola is even real. 18 patients who had Ebola actually went missing after one of the centers was destroyed, and nobody knows where they are still to this moment. Existing Ebola vaccines don't even work on this strain, and right now there's nothing to do about it. Oxford right now is trying to use the same exact tech from the COVID vaccine to try and build one, but it's still months from even being tested on people. This story changes every single day, so make sure you go ahead and follow me now if you don't want to miss the next update.
They say that there are like little people living in the jungle.
Yeah, like a dwarf.
Like dwarfs.
Yeah.
Is that here too?
Yeah. These are the ones.
That's them? Have you seen them before?
Yep.
You've seen them?
Yeah, they're representative of the dwarfs.
They look like people or what?
They look like people.
What do they do?
They kill people. We don't see them very often. When you go to the jungle and if it is very quiet, then you can see them running around.
Whatever, you've seen them too? Everyone sees them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This man kept insisting that what he saw in the jungle were not animals, but dwarf people.
Oh, come
Small
on,
human-like
man.
figures moving between the trees, he said. They looked like children, but their
It's
faces
AI.
felt old and wrong. At first, no one believed him, but then others came forward. Some even recording short, shaky videos on their phones, showing tiny figures disappearing behind trees. People started calling them Jung. The dwarves saying they move in groups and avoid being clearly seen in every clip. They look aware, like they know they're being watched. Some believe they've always been here, hiding alongside humans. And if you follow them deeper into the jungle, you might never find your way back.
Hey, what's up, America? The Indus Valley Civilization city of Mohenjo-Daro. Now located on the Indian subcontinent, but now currently in Pakistan, the city of Mohenjo-Daro is one of the largest archaeological sites in the world. This is one of the world's earliest cities. Created in about 2500 BC, some people think it's much older than that. So let me show you how awesome this archaeological site actually is. So this is the city of Mohenjo-Daro, created in approximately 2500 BC. Some people say older, so it's about 5,000 years, give or take, old. And you can see the archaeological site still possesses a great deal of remains and ruins. Here's another image of that archaeological site with the mound prominently in the center there, and you can see the homes and businesses that used to be around it. Here's another image, another close-up. You can still see the stairways that exist, the mound, and the individual insides of the homes and hallways. Remember, this is about 5,000 years old. This is an image of the great bath that they had there. 5,000 years old, and they still had a bath. And of course, some of the remaining structures, a tower that you can see that's still in the foreground here from this a very ancient Indus Valley civilization site. So if you're ever in Pakistan or near the region, you should go check that site out.
She knows that her father put at least 50 to 70 bodies in that well, and she told people for 45 years. There was a problem. One of Donald's kids named Lucy, who couldn't keep her mouth shut. See, little Lucy, dating back 45 years from now, would go to school and tell her teachers, her counselors, her principals, her priest, multiple law enforcement officers, and anybody that would listen that her daddy would kill people and make her and her brothers and sisters help him get rid of the bodies. So what would happen is she's saying her dad would wake her up or whatever, and she would have to go with her dad to help him put the bodies in the well. And he would drop a body down into that well, 90 feet down. And she says her brothers and sisters would have to put dirt over the bodies that went down in the well, and grass and leaves and all of that stuff. She said that over the years that she knows that her father put at least 50 to 70 bodies in that well. And she said that the ones that she saw were all white women, all from the ages from 20s to the 30s. All of them had like brown hair, dirty blonde, like it's a darkish. They all had more darker hair, and they were all 20 to 30, except for one was a 15-year-old runaway. And she said she specifically remembered her dad saying one time that the bee deserved it. Oh, this bee deserved it. Now, she would go to school and tell her teachers And she said that her teachers told her, honey, we don't worry about family issues. You got to worry about family issues at home. The counselors, law enforcement, nobody ever listened to her. And she told people for 45 years that this was going on, and nobody would ever listen to her. Now, Lucy is much older, and she has been actually working with the sheriff's office and the FBI. She went all the way to the FBI and has gotten them involved. And that's how we know about it in the media now. She doesn't want her name. She doesn't want fame. She's not making TikTok videos or YouTube videos, although I do wish she would, because I want to know every single detail like Lucy, girlfriend. She said the only thing that she wants, she said she wanted justice for her father, against her father growing up. She was terrified of him. He died in 2013, but what she wants is for them to dig up that well and get the bodies out and give the families closure and peace and give the women a proper burial. That's what she says. The well has years now been filled in, so there is no well there now. It's just dirt and trees covering where the well used to be. A lot of the sheriffs in this little town, I watched some videos, and I'm not going to show you the specific one because I don't know this person, but I get a feeling they're nervous because they've been ignoring this for years. And now the FBI and the public, like me and you, like now we're paying attention to this and they can't keep brushing it off. Lucy, by the way, she has offered to take a lie detector test. They said for years, and they have it documented in the law enforcement, like the paperwork. They don't have it documented all the way back to the 70s because back then they didn't have computers, but even just years ago, they have it documented where she went into law enforcement and told them, and they never investigated it. It's not like she just come up with this story. And she went out there with the FBI and these cadaver dogs. Now, 2 cadaver dogs went out there. 2 Australian cattle dogs, Jody and Jetty. Now, this is a big area. They said that those dogs hit, meaning they hit on the scent of human remains in 4 different areas out there. And one of those spots was exactly where the well was. And one of the dogs barked at it and the other dog sat on it. Ooh, I have chills thinking about it. And the person that was over the cadaver dogs said, ma'am, I'm gonna tell you something. It'd be pretty unheard of for 2 of these dogs to hit on the exact same spot and for nothing to be out there. One of Lucy's sisters has said that she's lying. Said this never happened. It wasn't true. She wants her father's name cleared. He would never do anything like this, and that it's all made up. But again, Lucy's been telling people this for years. She's not trying to get fame, and she said that she would take a lie detector test. The sister that said it didn't happen says that one of her dad's wives had a baby and that it was stillborn, and they buried the baby out there in a shoebox, and that's what they think the dog is hitting on. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I think that they need to find out. I can understand if they think it's not true. They're like, man, this would be a waste of money. But at the same time, I don't know. Now, hear this to make the story even stranger. Remember how I was telling you about Donald Sturdy's 2 wives? Allegedly, they both passed away. And one passed away from strangling herself with an electrical cord. Seems a bit odd. And then the other one passed away from shooting herself. So both of his wives took their own life. Seems a bit weird. The whole story is so bizarre and strange, and I think they should dig it up. Yeah, I think they should dig it up and see if there's anything down there.
Dig it up.
Did you know that Michael Jordan is 6 feet, 6 inches tall? He won his 6th championship in the 6th month of the 6th game with 6.6 seconds left. Oh, and the Bulls, they were founded in 1966. Oh, and Michael also took an 18-month hiatus to play baseball. 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6. Only that's not Michael. No, that's Jackie Robinson. But it's also Michael. Do you know Jackie also played football? It's an interesting pose they have him doing. And here's Jackie's wife, and here's Michael's wife, and here's Jackie's wife, and here's Michael's wife. Awful doppelgangery, aren't they? I mean, awfully doppelgangery, wouldn't you say? Look at those noses. But I've been here, and I've done this video, and shown how they have the exact same scar right in the exact same place of their forehead. But I couldn't help but notice something just yesterday.
Oh.
A more recent development.
There's
some NBA analysts talking about Anthony Edwards and MJ. And hey, 2 + 3 = 5.
And my man came back last night. And I'm going to say this. He's and I said this last year, he's the closest thing to Jordan, personality-wise, that we have in the game of basketball right now. But there's something about him, SA, if you want to compare it to 1994 when Jordan said, I'm back, it's the same kind of fervor. It's that same kind of, you almost got me cursing on national TV. It's the same kind of pop to his soul.
It's that same kind of pop to his soul.
Ooh.
But here's MJ, and here's Anthony Edwards, and man, do they fit symmetrically and smooth over perfectly. But that's not the end story. It never is. No, the end story is when you have the same markings, it proves you're a shapeshifter. And that's a very obvious one. And less obvious in this picture because it's older, it's there. And then this honking scar, which has had more time to heal, is also right there. But I'm going to show you some better quality. I'm going to want you to watch right here, and right here, and right here. And now watch the first one. See how that scar right there is in the same spot as that one. Back and forth.
Soul exchange.
And right
Soul
here,
exchange.
the scar and the scar. Right in the same spot. And then the forehead lines even line up perfectly. MJ, Anthony Edwards. And voila. But I'm sure it's all just a coincidence that he's 6'6" and won a 6th championship in the 6th month of the 6th game with 6.6 seconds remaining. Just like it's a coincidence that the Bulls were founded in 1966. And MJ took an 18-month hiatus to play baseball. 18 is 6 + 6 + 6. Oh, and do you ever notice what the Air Jordan symbol looks like? Kind of looks like angel.
All right,
wings,
man, we got the
if you
point.
ask me. Oh, and there's MJ's wife again, and all well prettied up. I see it. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that their faces fit perfectly, and they have the same scars. And the analyst even said he's got the same soul as Michael Jordan because they know, and they're just mocking us. But it's all for entertainment, my friends. Have a lovely day.
Oh, so you thought what was discovered under the Great Pyramids was a one-off thing and we were going to be done with it? Well, guess again, because what was just discovered under Angkor Wat in Cambodia might just blow your minds. And if you guessed the exact same structures that are underneath the pyramids, well, then you guessed correctly. Because yes, these scans have indicated the exact same type structures underneath Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Now, here's the thing. Some suppressed scripts have been translated stating that Angkor Wat was never built for religious purposes. It was in fact grown by an advanced race known as the Star Kings. We're not going to go into that in this video, but here's the other thing. It also states that Angkor Wat is one of 4 world engine sites. One of 4 meaning Angkor Wat, the Great Pyramids, Teotihuacan, and a site that's submerged under the coast of India. Off the coast of India. Now, these world engines were meant to ignite during a cosmic alignment, therefore opening a world portal to what is below. I don't know what's below, but I think that's fantastic. Now, these also were supposed to allow everlasting world energy throughout our entire world, as well as transportation and healing. So I find this to be absolutely fantastic news because I believe in the days to come, or at least the months to come, we're going to find out that all these religious sites aren't religious sites, but they're portals. Portals to something beyond our own thought process. Now, tell me what you think. Have you heard this? Drop it in the comments. Remember, I'm not here to tell you to believe one thing or the other, so leave what you will, take what you want. It's up to you. And anything we talk about is for entertainment, education, and learning purposes only, but I want to know what you think because I think a lot of you skepticals are going to be believers soon.
It's a free energy technology. Shut up.
What the hell is that? Shut up! Are you kidding me? No way.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. No way, dogs.
What the hell is going on in Paterson, New Jersey, guys? Sir! That looked like a garbage truck with meat in it. Now, I'm hoping that it's going to get thrown out in the garbage, right? People are saying that it's going to get delivered to the nearest supermarkets. Shut up! I hope not. It looks like a construction truck too, right? Shut up! Not only that, guys. Now we got to ask ourselves one thing. Is it ground beef or is it... Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes. I don't know what the hell was in that truck and I don't even want to know. Shut up! I'm telling you guys, it's getting real out there. What the Stop playing with me, son. It's getting real in these streets, guys. You know what it is. Shut up! But I tell you one thing. If I ever go to the supermarket and I go to pick up steak and I see the meat coming out the back of a garbage truck, where's the driver at?
How can I sell my soul? I won't sell it. I'm sick, man. You're gonna have to let me.
What?
Yo, if you want, I'll get you rich. You want to make some money? That was crazy. Why are you thinking about it?
People think that's a joke, but he's dead serious. That is how a lot of people have gotten ahead in the industry.
Oh, Tupac said it.
Specifically, the one I talk about most is the music industry. There are so many people that have contacted me over DMs and phone calls, text messages telling me the amount of times they have been offered fame and fortune and power, and the only thing they had to do one thing, and that was give up their soul or their whole. That's it. That's all you got to do. And people think it's funny. They think it's a joke. They think this is not something that actually happens. It's not a joke. It's real. It really is.
After you're done watching this, you will start to question your entire life. So this bizarre experiment exposed something very wild about human behavior. Scientists put 5 monkeys in a room. In the middle of the room, a ladder. And at the top of the ladder, bananas. Every time one of the monkeys tried climbing the ladder to grab the bananas, the scientists sprayed all of them with freezing cold water. So naturally, after a while, the monkeys learned. Touch the ladder, everybody suffers. So they stopped trying. But then the scientists did something really weird. They removed one monkey and replaced it with a brand new one. Now, obviously, the new monkey sees bananas and thinks, jackpot! So it runs for the ladder. But before it can even reach the bananas, the other monkeys start to pull it back down. Eventually, the new monkey learns, don't touch the ladder, even though it never got sprayed with cold water. Then they replaced another monkey until eventually none of the original monkeys were left, meaning none of the monkeys in that room had ever actually experienced the punishment. And yet none of them would touch the ladder. Why? Because that's just how things were done. Sound familiar? Yep. Because a lot of people are living by rules right now.
It's called programming.
That they never question. Limits that they have accepted, not because they're true, but because nobody ever asked why. Where are you staying limited right now and never stop to question?
Her voice wasn't simply trained, it was bestowed. In 1985, when she recorded her debut album in a Manhattan studio lit by humming fluorescent tubes, legendary producers said the same chilling thing. No human sings like this. They watched a 21-year-old girl hit notes with the precision of a machine and the soul of a prophet. It felt supernatural. Some joked she had made a deal. Others didn't say the word out loud, but they thought it. As Whitney's fame exploded, so did the mythology around her gift. Engineers described feeling a pressure in the room when she belted high notes, as if the air thickened around the microphone. One said it was like recording lightning. But the higher Whitney climbed, the heavier something seemed to rest on her shoulders. By the late 2000s, those closest to her noticed she carried herself like someone running from a presence she couldn't name. She would look behind her during rehearsals. She avoided mirrors backstage. She kept hotel bathroom doors open while she sang warm-ups, saying she didn't like the silence that came with closed spaces. Then came February 2012, the week of the Grammy Awards in Los Angeles, Whitney's final week. People who saw her during that time described her as radiant 1 minute and terrified the next. On February 9th at the Beverly Hilton, staff reported Whitney walking the hallways, talking to herself and rubbing her arms as if cold, though the hotel was warm. Witnesses said she repeatedly mentioned, "Someone watching me." Her longtime stylist said Whitney refused to shower that day, insisting on using the bathtub instead, but didn't explain why. Those around her didn't know it yet, but this was the beginning of the final ritual, one she had unknowingly been moving toward for years. The last 24 hours of her life unfolded like the execution of a script she never agreed to. Whitney spent the morning of February 11th, 2012, pacing her hotel suite. She ran a bath and turned the water to a temperature so hot the steam filled the room in minutes. Investigators later measured the water at over 150 degree Ref, far beyond normal bath heat. To those familiar with occult purification rites, the image was unmistakable, a cleansing ritual, a baptism by heat, a symbolic release of the body. At 3:36 p.m., Whitney Houston was found face down in that same bathtub, submerged in scalding water, the room quiet except for the echo of running taps. Paramedics said the scene was eerie, unnaturally still, almost staged. There were no signs of struggle, no overturned furniture.
This is completely
Oh, Michael's also saying somebody's watching me.
mind-blowing. Watch this.
Ghosts and demons. There are 13 points on the human body where, according to classical Chinese medicine, ghosts and demons can enter. The ancients mapped them, named them, and taught us how to awaken their protective medicine. At the base of your skull, in the soft hollow just beneath the bony ridge, precisely on your midline, there is a point the ancients called Palace of the Wind, and sometimes Ghost Forest. This is governing vessel 16, GV16, one of the 13 ghost points used in classical Chinese medicine to calm the mind, treat addiction and emotional trauma, and in older times to expel what the tradition called demons and ghosts. The language has evolved, the medicine has not. GV16 is understood to be a threshold between the external world and the palace within, the home of your own divinity. And because it is a doorway, it can be entered. Exterior influences, collective thought forms, ambient anxiety, the pull of group thinking, are understood to find their way in through this point, and that is why it carries such power. A direct blow to this location can cause physical death, which tells you something about what lives here and why it deserves your tending. Working with GV16, rather than leaving it unguarded, strengthens immunity in both the literal and metaphorical sense. As practitioner Michelle Marie Gervais writes in Spiritual Portraits of the Energy Release Point, unblocking and activating Ghost Forest brings awareness and a renewal of vitality that strengthens and energizes the whole body system, creating a heightened capacity for self-defense. This is her book. To work with this point, locate the soft depression at the base of the skull just beneath the occipital ridge. Apply a drop of frankincense essential oil, used across traditions for spiritual protection, purification, and connection with the sacred, and massage with steady, gentle pressure. We are not meant to close our eyes to the world. This point cultivates something rarer, the ability to witness the enormity of this moment, its trauma and turbulence, without being consumed by it. What reflections does this evoke for you? What tools are you already using to protect and fortify yourself?
Have you ever seen this map from 1587? Like this one with the bird carrying an elephant? It's quite crazy. There's so many crazy drawings and depictions here. And I'll go over a few of them with you and let you comment on them, but it was quite interesting. All the depictions, and as you'll see, there's no ice, and there's land all the way around. And then up in the Americas, they have a griffin up there, which I thought was pretty cool. But there are drawings everywhere. I mean, everywhere, where you have this character here, which was really interesting. And then down here you have everything really close, which it's not like that anymore. And we'll go ahead and kind of go across here so you can see more of the craziness. Another large, wild-looking bird. Sea creatures. There's your mermaid on the side here. Here's where they have the dates.
1587.
And then they have sayings all throughout here, all the different territories. And all along this area, they have all these different depictions like this. Or like that. Or like that. Just wild. And it keeps going. There's more and more. It just doesn't stop. This is probably one of the most interesting maps I've ever seen. And as you'll see here too. Oops, let me just do it the other way. Sorry. As you go further, you see even more interesting characters all throughout.
Wow.
Very interesting map. It's pretty wild looking there. Just all the different animal depictions everywhere. And then these. And then again below you have all the different descriptions. And then some of the different royalty in their descriptions as well. It's pretty wild. Here, we'll flip it again so we can see some more stuff. Check that one out, huh? It's pretty wild. Anyways, just wanted to share this map with you. There's so much more to dive into. We're just on the outskirts of it. I've done a couple videos. You can go back and check my past videos as well. See the different videos I've done on this. But it is quite interesting. Anyways, as always, I'll do some more videos of this. Stay curious, y'all.
The dress Beyoncé wore at the Met Gala hides something nobody was supposed to understand. In reality, the symbolism behind her dress was completely dark. At first, everyone thought Beyoncé had taken inspiration from the Statue of Liberty, but people started researching it, and what they found had nothing to do with that. The dress was actually inspired by an artwork called The Visitor by Caroline Durieux, an artist from Louisiana. And that artwork literally shows a skeleton standing in front of someone's door. It dates back to 1944 and symbolizes death and an unwelcome presence. When you look again at Beyoncé's dress with that context, it's clearly not a coincidence. Everything had been calculated, and what makes all of this even stranger is Blue Ivy's presence beside her. The Met Gala is an adults-only event, so normally Blue Ivy was not supposed to be there. Nobody expected to see her, and especially nobody expected to see how she was dressed. Her outfit looked like a wedding or ceremonial dress, as if Beyoncé was visually passing something down to her in front of the entire world. Everything in that staging pointed toward Blue Ivy. Beyoncé herself spent the entire night talking only about her daughter. Every answer she gave during interviews always came back to Blue, as if the purpose of her presence that night wasn't really about Beyoncé, but about her daughter. But on top of that, Jay-Z was there too. It had been a very long time since they had appeared together at an event, as if he was preparing something. Jay-Z was wearing a classic tuxedo, very discreet. You could almost think he didn't want too much attention on himself, especially with all the criticism and attention surrounding him lately. The entire presentation of this family that night felt abnormal. And when you put everything together, the skeletal dress inspired by death, Blue Ivy dressed like she was attending a ceremony, and Beyoncé speaking only about her daughter, it clearly suggests that Beyoncé wants to pass the torch. She represents the end of one life, while her daughter represents the beginning of another. Something strange was hidden behind their appearance that night.
I saw a design skeleton too.
So they got that thing. Not sure what it is, but I'm getting into it.
Man.
They got that thing randomly in the middle of the block. They got the back
Look at that.
of that building with the dragons on it and the 15-foot doors and the Roman inspiration with the Eiffel Tower lurking in the background. What were you doing back then, France, with this thing? Is that little children with mermen? Yeah, that makes sense. 1700s. 1700s, France. Yo, come on, man. Look at those columns. Oh, Greek inspired. Oh, Roman inspired. How about cultural appropriation at this point? For real, man. Make it make sense. Look at right underneath that clock, that face. Sorry, this is the 3-point shot because they have it like closed off. I can't get close. It's all gated off.
Beautiful. What's that?
The Monument
Yeah.
de la Défense Nationale. That looks legit. With the with those Roman axes. I forget the name. I think it starts with an F. It's like a bushel of wheat branches and an axe from Rome with all Roman inspired stuff. Shout out to Rome. Oui, merci. Let's get into this one over here. I love you, friends. It's all love. So you got this church that you can't see from here. But as I'm stopping and looking up, walking here, you got some Atlantis looking dude and some lady with a breast out. And you know they're lying already.
David Fulvetta, who was the 2012 Avian Photographer of the Year, captured this rare footage of a baby king vulture chick in its natural habitat in the Amazon rainforest. The king vulture is among the largest flying birds in the Western Hemisphere. The chick displays the species' characteristic facial structure and early feather development. Mr. Fulvetta stated that he has always been in awe at the beauty and grace of the king vulture and that he hopes this footage will help the public to develop a deeper appreciation for this magnificent bird.
Get out of here. I mean, AI bird? Look at that ugly thing. Yeah. Like, man.
I'm just gonna say it. It shouldn't exist. This place shouldn't be here. Machu Picchu isn't even the only city in the area that's 8,000 feet high. Yana Picchu is even higher. Before we try and explain how they got the rock to do that, you gotta explain why it was a priority to put doorways that go nowhere in the temple. This rock right here is what really gets me though. How do you get that up there? How did they know the same techniques as another culture across the globe? Why is the older stuff more advanced than the newer stuff? I don't see iPhones getting worse. I wouldn't know how to get water up here, but their fountains still work. We only know how they did it because we 3D scanned it. Not only did they know how to get it up there, they delivered it to the citizens via art. No one gives these guys enough credit. They thought these were for food or like grain, grinding grain up. They fill up with water one day and someone notices the angle at which they reflect. We built them to observe sections of the sky during specific times of the year through the windows of the surrounding building. And then
I want to jump ahead to a video of one of these scientists before we dissect that whole situation, because when I saw this, I thought that this woman was an alcoholic, maybe had a drug problem. By the way, maybe she did. She's saying some of the craziest shit I've ever heard in my entire life, to the point that I was like, oh, she's mentally ill. She's a drug addict. And it turns out, I'm going to play that clip in just a moment, but to preface this for everybody before they watch it, turns out that she is a, quote, polymath, which means, hang on, where are my notes on her? Just a second. Here we go. A double major in chemistry and biology with a mastery of electrical engineering and physics. She was the co-founder of the Institute for Exotic Science in Huntsville, Alabama, which is called Rocket City. It's known as the heart of the aerospace defense world. It's also arguably, and Luke, correct me if I'm wrong, where Project Paperclip began. So German scientists, 16 of them, that were brought over after World War II to work on exotic physics were taken, including anti-gravity, I don't even know what this is, zero-point energy. All of their projects were swiftly classified as black budget in the defense industry. Her and her father worked on anti-gravity technology. She thought that she was being stalked by Raytheon and BlackRock because they wanted to suppress her work. In June of 2022, she was only 34 years old. She was found dead. The official ruling was, we'll say self-deletion for the algorithm here, by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And in leading up to her death, she told colleagues that she was being targeted by energy weapons. And I have seen pictures of her hands that look like they were put in a microwave, which will pop in here in post. She was being harassed, as mentioned, by defense contractors, and she explicitly said, if you see any report that I killed myself, I most definitely did not. Guys, can we throw up SOT 3, please?
The ultra-terrestrials, I think, have you heard of the P-52s and the P-47s? Do you know what that is? They're us from the future. They're from here. They are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future. P47 is present plus 47,000 years. P52 is present plus 52,000 years. And basically there's a calamity, right? So there's like a apocalypse scenario in the near future. It wipes out most of like everything, man. And there's the ones that go underground and survive, right? And then there's the ones that somehow stay on the surface and miraculously don't die.
Okay.
So you were just reading me from Daniel 11, and I was just I was so struck by it. I took a picture of it and sent it to like 20 people. Can you read the passage that you just read me?
It's from Daniel 11:36. The king will do as he pleases. He will exalt and magnify himself above every god and will say unheard of things against the God of gods. Would you like me to continue?
Please.
He will be successful until the time of wrath is completed. For what has been determined must take place. He will show no regard for the gods of his ancestors or for the one desired by women, nor will he regard any god, but will exalt himself above them all. Instead of them, he will honor a god of fortresses, a god unknown to his ancestors. He will honor with gold and silver, with precious stones and costly gifts. He will attack the mightiest fortresses with the help of a foreign god.
Amen.
And will greatly honor those who acknowledge him. He will make them rulers over many people and will distribute the land at a price.
Ripped from the headlines. That was just so striking to me. Shocking, actually. I've read it. I completely missed that. It hits differently right now.
The book of Enoch doesn't contradict the Bible, okay? It fills in the gaps. Genesis gives you 2 verses on the Nephilim, right? But Enoch gives you chapters. Your Bible says fallen angels. Enoch tells you their government name, what they specialize in, and what happened when they liked human women just a little bit too much. It even explains where demons actually come from. And I promise you, it's not what you were taught in church. Listen, Jude 1:14 names Enoch directly, even quotes him, okay? Look it up. And mind you, when the Dead Sea Scrolls were found in 1947, guess what book they found 7 copies of? It was Enoch, okay? This book was studied. It was not some made-up text someone wrote for shiggles, right? The church left it out on purpose. Well, most of the churches, right? Ethiopia kept Enoch and all the Apocrypha. They have what's known as the most complete and oldest Bible in the world. They also claim to have the Ark of the Covenant, but that's for another conversation. Look, I've said it once before. I'll say it again. Enoch deserves his spot in the Bible, and it was taken away from him. So the next time someone tells you, well, it's not in the Bible, ask them why.
This is the most haunted graveyard in the world, and it has a section so active that it's kept behind lock and key. I'm going in and taking you with me. This is Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, and behind the gate lies the Covenanters' prison. In 1679, after the Battle of Bothwell Bridge, around 1,200 Covenanters were imprisoned here. They were men who had refused to abandon their religious beliefs. They were held in this open-air enclosure with little food, no shelter, and no way out. Over the following months, many died right here. Others were executed, and some transported overseas to be slaves. But centuries later, this place became more known for something else. Visitors have claimed to have scratches, burns, some even pushed to the ground, so much so that access has been restricted for years. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, this place holds a very real and very dark history.
Petrified giants.
Man. The hair petrified too?
That's right. That's what we're here to talk to you about today. That's what we do out here in Colorado. Petrified humanoids, ones that actually turn to stone. And yes, it's called permineralization, and it happened during the flood.
I love this.
This right here behind me is what we believe to be one. Of course, this is our opinion for entertainment purposes only and all that good stuff. But if you actually look at it, you can very clearly see that it is a humanoid of some kind. But you can clearly see the chin, the neckline, the lips, even the lips, the nose, and even the eye. And it is actually looking that way. And you can also see the hairline. But if you look above it, it looks like maybe some kind of partner or a baby or something sitting next to it. We're not really quite sure. But the little nugget for today, Lilith. Let's chat about Lilith for a second. Lilith was actually Adam's first wife. A lot of people don't know that. Well, she didn't want to conform to what Adam and God wanted, so they kind of let her go. And she went out in the world and she kind of did her own thing. And it is said that she eventually became Lucifer's wife. That's just a little something we've picked up along the way. Do your own research. But we're out here in beautiful Colorado showing you the most amazing things. We're Petrified Giants Touring Company. Come on out and see us. Go check out our website, petrifiedgiants.com. And you can get some more information there, or you can book a tour there. People are already starting to book tours. But we're very excited. A big shout out to all our followers, because honestly, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. And we appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much. Come on out and see us. Thank you.
Okay. Looks like she was wearing a hairspray.
To all my witches out there, do I have a treat for you?
Yeah, I am not going back there. I literally just saw what looked like a woman.
This is another scary video that's going to need critical scrutiny because
getting bugs all over me.
There is literally nothing out there with what I'm about to show you.
Look, they left like some black stuff on the top. You see it? It's like something wet just kind of went right up the wall.
So buckle up, buttercups. This shit is crazy. So Franco TV is investigating one of the oldest cemeteries on the planet called Cementerio Presbítero Maestro. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's located in Lima, Peru, and it's been around since the year 1808. So it's over 200 years old. And let me tell you, this fucking place at night. And he was in Peru investigating this cemetery for months, if not an entire year.
Oh my God, nope.
Okay, so this thing that he caught, I'm going to go ahead and call it a witch because
she's pretty far back there.
I mean, once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. He hears crying from a distance, so he begins walking towards that direction.
I'm going to switch over to night vision.
He switches over to his night vision camera because he's pretty much in complete pitch black darkness. He's about 60 to 70 feet away, and he sees what appears to be a woman crying and kneeling in front of a grave. And after this reaction of his...
He's just crying in like a little ball area. But that's literally right in Georgina's tomb. What the hell?
Is when the woman becomes something entirely different. Watch this.
But that's literally right in Georgina's tomb. What the hell? Alright, I'm gonna see something. ¿Está bien? What the f... Holy sh...
I mean, come on. 1 minute it's crouched. And then the next it morphed.
Alright, I'm gonna see something.
Hanging from the fucking concrete like... I don't know. I don't know.
¿Está bien? What the f...
Ooh.
Holy sh...
And then this crazy fucking guy goes over and wants to talk to it.
Hola?
Ooh.
Yo quiero hablar contigo.
Yeah. Talk to it. I mean, would you fucking talk to it? I mean... Maybe?
Hey, no.
No. That shit's crazy. Look at that
I'm
thing.
gonna talk to it.
Holy sh...
So, yeah.
I'll leave you with that.
The camera is
and,
so shitty.
What's your take? What is your analysis on this beautiful fucking creature? Because I would like to know.
Did you know the most influential Christian book after the Bible was written by a man who spent 70 years trying to be completely invisible? In 1399, 13-year-old Thomas à Kempis arrived at Mount St. Agnes Monastery in Germany. While other boys his age dreamed of fame and fortune, Thomas chose a different path. For 7 decades, he copied manuscripts by hand in silence, developing what would become revolutionary spiritual insights. Thomas rejected the complex church doctrines of his time. Instead, he focused on something radical, a personal, intimate relationship with Jesus. He practiced daily self-examination, asking himself hard questions about his thoughts and actions. His famous saying, "Man proposes, God disposes," became a cornerstone of humble living. Working in complete anonymity, Thomas wrote The Imitation of Christ. This simple book emphasized inner transformation over external religious performance. It influenced everyone from Martin Luther to modern evangelical movements. Here's the beautiful irony. This man who preached hiddenness and humility created a masterpiece that has sold over 50 million copies across 5 centuries. Thomas proved that the greatest impact often comes from those who seek no recognition at all.
The Bible describes beings so terrifying that even prophets fell to the ground when they saw them. Creatures covered in eyes, angels burning like fire, entities never meant for human contact. This wasn't symbolism, it was a warning. And the Book of Enoch reveals what happened when some of these beings crossed into the world of men, unleashing forbidden knowledge, corruption, and chaos. Get the Book of Enoch, the link is in my bio, and see what was left out.
You going to tell me it's a coincidence that Michael Jackson dies 2 weeks before the first concert? He dies a few months before Sony was due to return his masters. Look how convenient this is. Look how convenient. You die right before you're supposed to get your master recordings back for the #1 selling album in world history. Let me go back to 1993. He bought the ATV music catalog, the Beatles and the Elvis, Bruce Springsteen, Rolling Stones, Little Richard. He bought that 4,000 song ATV catalog in 1985. He signs his 15-year deal with Sony in 1991, right? He puts in a bid for Marvel Comics in 1993, Art. When does Michael Jackson get his first child abuse accusation? 1993, right after he puts in a bid to own Marvel Comics, Art. Look at this. Michael Jackson was playing to be the king, bro. I got the #1 album. I'm going to buy a 4,000 song catalog that gives me the publishing rights to the Beatles, Elvis, Rolling Stones, and Bruce Springsteen. And then I'm going to turn around, sign a contract with Sony that's going to turn me into a billionaire. And then I'm going to buy Marvel Comics.
So who owns it now?